an interstellar object whirling through our solar system is actually a nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens to test how humans respond.
The latest revelation has shaken the scientific world. The People's Republic of China has now officially confirmed findings regarding 3Y Atlas that until now existed only in fragments of suspicion and scattered hypotheses. This confirmation is not subtle. It opens a door to consequences far greater than the discovery of yet another interstellar visitor. For decades, researchers have watched with fascination for a rare object from beyond our solar system. Now the confirmation that China offers pushes the narrative into foreshadowing territory, and the implications are undeniably more serious than we imagined. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. At first glance, 3I Atlas appeared to be the third confirmed interstellar object passing through our solar system, after 1 Oumuamua in 2017 and 2I/Borisov in 2019. The Chinese team's involvement, however, adds a new dimension. They claim to have detected data showing behavior or composition that diverges significantly from natural comet models. While Western agencies continue to treat the object as extraordinary but ultimately natural, the Chinese confirmation suggests that this visitor may carry signatures of artificial origin, or at least origin far beyond our established solar system norms. In its trajectory and timing, 3I Atlas was remarkable. Discovered by the Atlas survey in Chile on the 1st of July 2025, it entered the inner solar system with a hyperbolic path that indicated an origin outside the Sun's gravitational domain. Initial studies showed typical comet-like outgassing, but with anomalous proportions, particularly a carbon dioxide-dominated coma rather than the more expected water vapor dominance. But now China asserts that the anomalies run deeper, that certain metal vapors, directional outgassing, even what appears to be a controlled adjustment of trajectory, have been confirmed in their observations. To understand why this is worse than first thought, consider the standard expectation for interstellar comets. They are primitive bodies, ejected from other star systems, carrying the primordial material from their birth systems, and mostly acting according to the physics of sublimation and gravity as they venture through the Sun's environment. In most cases, their behavior falls within a known spectrum of cometary activity. But in 3 Atlas, the Chinese confirmation points towards something far outside that spectrum. The outgassing does not follow solely solar-driven sublimation rules. The composition includes unusually high ratios of carbon dioxide to water, record-breaking in fact. Further, polarimetric studies revealed a deep and narrow negative polarization branch, a behavior unprecedented among known comets, which suggests surface or dust grain structure unlike anything seen before. These signs hint that 3I Atlas is not just unusual, but perhaps engineered or deliberately placed, an idea long discounted by mainstream science, but exported into serious conversation by China's confirmation. China's official announcement did not frame 3Y Atlas as an alien probe, and scientists in China remained careful in wording, but they did confirm that their instruments, ground-based and spaceborne, register deviations that cannot be easily reconciled with conventional comet models, namely directional jets of gases and dust that align in unexpected ways, an axis of motion suggesting a clockwork shift rather than random ejection, and an apparent metallic vapor component that resembles industrial chemistry rather than primordial ice and dust. These data, while preliminary, muster the possibility that 3I Atlas might be a purposely directed object. If that is the case, the implications reach far beyond curiosity. First, there is the immediate scientific import. If the object is indeed artificial or semi-artificial, then humanity has before it an engineered body not of this solar system, either sent or preserved by another civilization. That scenario forces us to reevaluate everything we know about interstellar objects, about the prevalence of civilizations elsewhere, about the mechanisms by which such bodies might be dispatched or survive in interstellar space, and about the risks of encountering such advanced artifacts. Up until now, the discovery of interstellar comets has been treated as benign, rare and fascinating, but safe. If 3I Atlas is intentional or semi-intentional, then this shift brings an entirely different category, one with agency, purpose, maybe even threat. Second, the geopolitical dimension must be acknowledged. China making this confirmation changes the dynamic of space science. It suggests that their sensor networks or space programs picked up key anomalies ahead of or in parallel with Western agencies, which raises questions of transparency, data sharing, and control of knowledge in a domain that might affect the security of Earth and the solar system. The idea that one nation is first to speak about an object that might carry interstellar intelligence or engineered origin triggers a cascade of questions. How will access to the data be managed? Who determines scientific consensus if one nation has privileged access or interprets the data in a particular way? And if this object carries risk, how are defense protocols or planetary safeguard responses coordinated? Third, the timing of the confirmation is pivotal. 3. Atlas is approaching perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun, at a point where its behavior is expected to ramp up. Already, some sources note that at certain thresholds its outgassing accelerated non-linearly, suggesting some kind of activation process rather than straightforward heating. China's confirmation, therefore, comes at a moment when observation windows are shrinking, and the object may soon pass behind the Sun from Earth's vantage, limiting direct monitoring. That means the world may be entering a phase of uncertain observation, with the strongest anomalies coming into play just when our view is partially obscured. Fourth, the implications for planetary defense and risk assessment become immediate. If 3I Atlas were simply a naturally occurring interstellar comet, the risk it posed to Earth was minimal. The published trajectories place its nearest approach at about 1.8 astronomical units away, well outside the danger zone. But an engineered object changes the risk calculus. If it has propulsion, directionality, perhaps even maneuvering capacity, then its passage through the inner solar system becomes not just an observational curiosity, but a potential strategic event. The Chinese confirmation forces the conversation to include scenarios heretofore reserved for science fiction: active monitoring, potential interception, and contingency planning. Fifth, the scientific assumptions underlying our models of cometary and interstellar objects will now need revision. The high CO2 to H2O ratio observed by the James Webb Space Telescope in August 2025 builds a case for origin in a radically different environment, perhaps near the CO2 ice line in another star's disk or under high radiation exposure. But China's data layering in metallic vapors and unexpected dust grain structure suggests something beyond exotic natural origin. It suggests modification or construction. That means many published models of interstellar object formation and behavior may be incomplete or misguided. Future missions, telescopes, and surveys must now account for the possibility of artifacts, not just random drifting bodies. Sixth, for humanity's place in the cosmos, the psychological and philosophical consequences cannot be understated. The idea that we are not only passively being visited by objects ejected from other star systems, but that one of those objects is potentially engineered, carries a weight that ripples through science, culture, security, and philosophy. If the Chinese confirmation holds, then the long-debated question of "are we alone?" takes on a new urgency. We might already be encountering evidence of other intelligences, or at least evidence of materials and mechanisms beyond our solar system's evolutionary history. This is not a remote academic thrill. It is the kind of paradigm shift that changes worldviews. Seventh, there is the matter of open data, international collaboration, and scientific credibility. In the past week, chatter has circulated about social media claims that China exposed NASA's hidden data on 3Y Atlas, though those claims remain unverified. Whether or not that particular narrative is accurate, the fact that China's statements draw attention to discrepancies or unexplained behavior invites deeper scrutiny of how global scientific agencies communicate and cooperate. If one agency announces anomalies, others must verify or explain them, or else trust in the global scientific enterprise might erode. It becomes essential for the broader community to jointly inspect, share, validate, and interpret data. Yet the stakes here may push data into the domain of national security rather than pure science. Eighth, the confirmation forces revision of observation and mission planning. Until now, we regarded interstellar visitors as observational marvels with low priority for intervention. But if 3I Atlas is more than a comet, if its characteristics hint at artificiality, then we must begin thinking about how to interact with, monitor, and perhaps respond to such objects. Space agencies around the world may need to consider dedicated tracking, potential rendezvous or probe missions, specialized instrumentation for metallic vapor detection and directional thrust sensing, and contingency scenarios for any unanticipated behavior. The fact that China is now part of the conversation and evidently claims advanced detection or interpretation capabilities pushes other agencies to gear up quickly. Ninth, there is the question of how this event will shape public perception and media narrative. The confirmation by a major power like China, describing anomalies with an interstellar object, will tend to attract sensationalist interpretation. But the risk is that sensationalism will bury nuance, and the real scientific and strategic implications may be overlooked or misrepresented. The global community must be prepared to manage not only the scientific challenges, but also the information flow, public engagement, and policy responses associated with a possible first engineered interstellar object. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on China finally confirming the truth about 3I Atlas? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.